So now I'm back live with Dan Bice, columnist for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and Ernie Franzen, an associate editorial page editor at the Journal Sentinel. Welcome, guys. Dan,
Thanks.
let me turn to you first. Justice Gableman not running. What are the political implications?
Well, the big question would be, does he serve out his term? Because if he serves out his term, then it's an open seat and it's a free-for-all. What the Walker people, I'm assuming and hearing, they want him to step down early. And you know, making this clear now means that you could have a clean break, because the term goes through through July and starts again in August, and that's when they start hearing new cases. So if he steps down now or at the end of this term, then Walker could appoint somebody to replace him, and that person then obviously is an incumbent, and whoever's running is running against a sitting justice. So,
and that's what he did last time,
right?
With Rebecca Bradley,
right? And so you have Rebecca Bradley in office, and it's a much tougher fight. But you know, if Gableman had stayed on, he was going to see opposition clearly already from the left, and then the question from the right. And you know, when Justice Ziegler ran last time, no one challenged her, and much of the discussion was those who wanted to run saw it as a much easier race if you run against Gableman than you ran against Ziegler. So, and I didn't quite understand that, because you can actually run against both. It didn't have to be either or. But I think that's the big question is, does he step down early? And if he does it, who does Walker appoint? Walker just recently passed over appeals court Judge Gundrum for the position, highly regarded and someone who clearly has an interest. His former staff attorney, Brian Hagedorn, is an appeals court judge. So there are people out there that he could appoint for this position.
So Ernie, on Gableman's record.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly one of the more conservative members of the court. He wrote, he was the prime author on the ruling on the Act 10 legislation. So he was a prime target for Democrats who wanted to kick back in some way after the recent election losses. We had urged, editorially, we had urged Walker, when he appointed Rebecca Bradley, not to do that, or at least to appoint someone who would promise not to run in the spring. That advantage of incumbency, even if it's for 6 months or something, is a very strong advantage. So, you know, I think we would hope again that he appoints someone who will commit to not running, or he doesn't appoint someone. So.
You know, it's interesting when Gableman won, and it was a nasty race, the nastiest Supreme Court race that we probably ever had in the state. Right. The thinking was Gableman's in his 40s. He could be on the court for 30 years, and so forth. And now we're finding out he may not even serve out his 10-year term. Right. So a very interesting turn of events.
Yeah, and he sort of alluded that he was going to run for more than just one term, at least with Patrick Marley as Patrick mentioned, a couple of years ago. So it does come as a bit of a surprise, at least to me, that he would step down now or get out now.
Okay.